Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is WolfWorld63 and today we will be taking a walk back into history like we have been every day so far. We will be taking a walk back to a subject that is, well, kind of forgotten in some cases, and the subject is the British/American Wickes-class destroyer, the HMS Campbeltown. Now, the HMS Campbeltown is a Wickes-class destroyer, as suggested by the Wickes-class, which was significantly built for the United States Navy at first. Now, Campbeltown isn't actually the ship's real name. That was her redesigned name. The as-built name of the Campbeltown was the USS Buchanan, DD-131 of the Wickes-class. This was the American variant of the Campbeltown, or the Campbeltown, excuse me. Today we'll be taking a look at the ship overall, going into its history of being the not only the Buchanan but the Campbeltown itself, and the event in history, in fact a World War II event that actually sparked and gave the Campbeltown the history she is best known for. If you guys want to sit back, grab a thing of popcorn, or get your notebooks and pencils ready, and let's actually take a deep dive into it. Now, there are a few other creators who actually have done videos on the Campbeltown herself and the event that made her so historic in the end. I will be showing images. I will be showing the video thumbnails of those at the end of the video, as well as the channels where you guys can find those, which will also be linked down in the description. Both the creators channel plus the video channel, or the video link that you guys can go watch that on. And again, the history of the Campbeltown is actually pretty amazing if you guys want to read into it. But with that being said, let's just hop right on into this. First, we'll be taking a look at the service with the United States Navy, and then we'll be taking a look at the service with the Royal Navy. But one more thing before we do get into this: if you guys are new to the channel, please do go hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. It truly does help, as always. If you guys do end up enjoying today's video, please do go smash that like button. It truly does help that you guys are watching and are actually enjoying this type of content. Now, without further ado, let's hop right on into this with the service with the United States Navy. Now, the first USS Buchanan, DD-131, was launched on the 2nd of January, 1919, by Bath Iron Works in Bath, Maine. Sponsored by Miss Charles P. Weatherby, the ship was commissioned on the 20th of January, 1919, with Lieutenant H.J. Benson in command. Buchanan reported to Commander Destroyer Force at Guantanamo, Cuba, and was temporarily attached to Destroyer Squadron 2 until ordered to the Pacific Fleet in July of 1919 for duty with Destroyer Flotilla 4. From the 7th of June 1922 until the 10th of April 1930, Buchanan was out of commission at San Diego. She then joined Destroyer Division 10, Destroyer Squadron Battle Force, and operated on the West Coast in routine division forces and fleet activities and problems. And was, for the short period that she was commanded by Theodore R. Chandler, who would later become an admiral during World War II and be killed in action in the South Pacific. In January of 1945, in mid-1934, after making a cruise to Alaska with ROTC units aboard, she was placed in reduced commission attached to rotating Reserve Destroyer Squadron 20 in San Diego. Again placed in full commission in December of 1934, she resumed operations with Division 4 Destroyers Battle Force. Buchanan was again out of commission at San Diego from the 9th of April 1937 until the 30th of September 1939, at which time she was refitted for action with Division 65 Destroyer Squadron 32 Atlantic Squadron. From December 1939 until the 22nd of February 1940, she operated with the Neutrality Patrol and Athelia's Detachment. She was then assigned to patrol in the Gulf of Mexico, operating out of Galveston, Texas, and later off of Key West and around the Florida Straits. She arrived at Boston Navy Yard on the 2nd of September, and then proceeded to Halifax, where on the 9th of September 1940, she was decommissioned and transferred to the United Kingdom under the Destroyers for Bases Agreement. Now, that is the history. That is the history of the Buchanan, or the USS Buchanan DD-131, under the flag of the United States. Now we are going to be switching over to the Royal Navy, and the service with the Royal Navy, under the new name HMS Campbeltown I-42. Upon her arrival at HMD Devonport, England, on the 29th of September 1940, HMS Campbeltown was located to the 7th Escort Group, Liverpool, and the Western Approaches Command. In January of 1941, she was provisionally located with the Royal Netherlands Navy, but reverted to the Royal Navy in September of 1941. Between September of 1941 and March of 1942, she served with the Atlantic convoys and was attacked on several occasions by enemy U-boats and aircraft, but escaped without damage. On the 15th of September 1941, she picked up the survivors of the Norwegian mortar tanker Viga, damaged by an enemy air attack. Now, that's a little background before this big event in history that would end up bringing the Campbeltown into the light of everything else around her. And that event would be none other than the St. Nazaire Raid. And believe me when I say this, this is actually quite a big event. Like I said, quite a few other creators have done history videos on this exact subject, and believe me, I plan on doing a history video in the future. about this subject, because this subject alone is actually what set forth a lot of other chain reactions during the war and helped to stop the German advances in the area where this happened. Now, in 1942, the German battleship Tirpitz anchored at Tempelhelm in Norway was considered to present a grave threat to the Atlantic convoys. However, should the ship enter the Atlantic, then the dry dock originally built for the ocean liner H.M.S. Normandy in German-occupied port of Saint-Nazaire, France, was the only one in German hands on the Atlantic seaboard large enough to hold her. It was considered that if this dock could be put out of action, then a sortie by Tirpitz in the Atlantic would be much more dangerous for her, and probably not worth the risk. The obsolete Campbeltown was selected for the task, and cosmetic modifications quickly done to her to make her look similar to a German Wickes-class torpedo boat. Using genuine German mechanization signals, the force approached to within less than a mile of the harbor before they were fired upon. Campbeltown was the largest target, drawing most of the fire. At 1:34 a.m. on the 28th of March, 1942, Campbeltown rammed, that would be a PM, not an AM on the 134. Sorry about that. Campbeltown rammed the dry dock gate 4 minutes later than planned. Troops and crews came ashore under heavy German fire and set about demolishing the dock machinery. 169 of the raiders were killed, 64 commandos and 105 sailors, out of the 611 men in the attacking force. Of the survivors, 215 were captured, and 222 were evacuated by the surviving small craft. A further fire evaded capture and traveled overland through France to Spain and then to Gibraltar. The charges in Campbeltown exploded the next day on the 28th of March, an hour and a half after the latest time that the British had expected them to detonate. Although the ship had been searched by the Germans, the explosives had not been detected. The explosion killed around 250 German soldiers and French civilians and demolished both the front half of the ship and the 160-ton caisson. The inrush of water into the dock washed the remains of the ship into it. The dock was rendered unusable for the rest of the war and was not repaired until 1948. 3 years after the war had ended. Now, that is actually the event that, like I said, that's the event that made the Campbeltown so famous in her regards. Now, there are two other subjects that can actually be brought up into this one, and that is both the films that she can be seen in, or that she was pictured in, resembling around the historical event, and what happened to the ship's bell. Yes, although she was a warship, yes, she had a bell, and it was in fact raised and transferred back, and it was actually transferred to someplace else. Now, in regards to the ship's bell, the bell was given to Campbeltown, Pennsylvania, as a gesture of appreciation towards the United States for the lead lease program. It was lent to It was lent by the town to the current HMS Campbeltown, a Type 22 frigate, when it was commissioned in 1989 and remained on the ship whilst it was in service with the Royal Navy. The Belle was returned to Campbelltown, Pennsylvania on the 21st of June 2011 when HMS Campbeltown was decommissioned. Now, the films that she can be seen in, the 1952 film Gift Horse and the 1968 film Attack on the Iron Coast were both loosely based on the story of the HMS Campbeltown. So again, the ship does actually have, although not too well known, it does actually have a spot in its own history, and is actually surprisingly, unknown for most, for a lot of people, and other places like that. But she does have a great history behind her, especially for what she is. Now, like I said, there are a few other content creators that have done videos on both the Campbeltown and the event that made her so famous. Though not only did I link those videos down below, but I also linked links to the creators' channels themselves. Please do go give them a follow if you haven't already, and please do go give them some love and take a view at their video, because I know they are probably a hell of a lot more more in depth than mine here today. Now, with that being said, I thank everybody for watching. I hope you guys learned something about the HMS Campbeltown, because I know I did a while back, but I learned more stuff while I was researching her for this video. If you guys are curious, there is a Discord server. I do run a Discord server. That is, as always, linked in the description. I have a podcast over on Spotify that is more than open to the public. If you guys want to come take a listen on that one and drop a follow to that, it would be greatly appreciated. If you guys haven't already, please do go share this video to your friends, family, or anybody who else is curious, because it does help a lot bringing in people to the channel and seeing that this is actually interested for people. But like I said, with that being said, I thank everybody for watching. If you guys haven't already, please do go hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. If you guys liked the video, or if you guys enjoyed the video, please do go hit that like button. Leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions, concerns, requests, anything like that. Feel free to comment those down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And with that being said, again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.